Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to work on some corn dog bites. It's a really great fall recipe. And if you want to make these mini size, you'll use a smaller muffin tin. I'm just using regular size today. And I'm also going to double my recipe. So you're going to need a box of this. And like I said, I'm going to use 2 because I'm doubling. Oh, I forgot to open it. Let me see. Let me open this real quick. Okay. 2 eggs. I think there was some. All right, 2 eggs, 2/3 of a cup of milk, and that's for doubling it. So 1/3 of a cup of milk, 2 if you're gonna double, and let's see here. I'm using 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Okay. And like I said, again, I'm doubling it. Got all that milk. Really easy and simple. You can use any hot dogs you want. I'm just using Ballpark Franks because that's what we always use. And I've already got my oven preheated to 400 degrees. All right, let me get my hot dogs cut up. All right, so we're gonna put about half in each of these. So fill it up about halfway. And I just used paper liners. You don't have to do that. I just did that for easier cleanup. It's just easier, easier, easier all the way around. Okay, so I just cut up about half of the pack, and because I really don't know how much is going to fit in here, so considering these are bigger. If you do mini ones, you probably just need one little small one. But since I'm doing bigger ones, I'm going to put 2. I just kind of don't want that ratio messed up. I don't want it to be too much hot dog versus too much bread and vice versa. But you can do however you want. It should bake around it. Let's stick 3 in here and see what happens. Because some of these are a little bit bigger than the others. So like these are kind of tiny. So they need another small one. And then you just kind of press it down in there. Press them down in the dough. I'm gonna go back through, make sure we're good. Okay. So we're gonna put this in 400 degrees for about 10 minutes or so. And I will be right back. Okay, y'all, so this is the finished product. They did perfect. It literally took 10 minutes to bake, and they turned out great. I'm going to pair this with some cheddar curly fries, and we're going to add some cheese dip or queso on the side, and that will be supper tonight. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to make some taco pizza, and right now I'm getting the meat and beans ready. I've already cooked about 2 pounds worth of ground beef. Don't know if I'll use it all, but I've got 2 pounds worth of ground beef, and I used 1 can of black beans that I rinsed and drained. And right now I'm and I also mixed taco seasoning with the ground beef after I cooked it. Right now I'm draining off all that liquid from the meat, and we're going to assemble our pizza. And we've got right here what we'll be putting on the bottom, or I'm sorry, what we'll be putting on the crust right before we add everything. So we're going to mix, if I don't screw it up, 8 ounces of softened cream cheese and 8 ounces of sour cream. I'm going to try to use up this little bit of sour cream I have, because I think it's about enough. If not, I've got some extra. So you're going to soften your cream cheese brick. You'll need a whole brick. And then you're going to mix, I think that's about 8 ounces right there. Mix the two together. So 8 ounces of sour cream, 8 ounces of cream cheese that's been softened. I'm going to mix all that. And I've already got my lettuce and tomato chopped. We love the taco pizza that Pizza Hut, I don't even know if they still do it, but here in Alabama they don't. We love their taco pizza. We used to always get it when we go there. And so I'm always trying to find a dupe. Somehow, some way I'm trying to find, a way to remake it. Hold on a minute and we'll get everything ready. And let me show you the next step. Okay, so it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be Pizza Hut, but you're going to take 2 rolls, if you've got a cookie sheet big enough or a baking sheet big enough, 2 tubes of crescent rolls. And I sprayed the pan. First I lined it with foil, then I sprayed the foil, then I rolled them out. I pinched them together. It's okay if it's not perfect. And I've let it cool. So it's cooled now. And, I mean, you probably don't have to let it cool, but I just did. So pinch that together, bake it for, I did 350 until it was done. And this, I'm going to try to use only half of this little cream cheese mixture because I don't want to do too much. And you're just going to spread it out. Just spread it out. This is not going to go back in the oven. You're done with the oven for now. And that's one of the reasons why I liked this recipe. It's because it doesn't go back. It's not melted or anything. And that's the way the Pizza Hut version was. It had all fresh toppings on top. So you would make your ground beef, and it was taco flavored, of course. And then it would have fresh lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and the cheese wasn't melted. And I've done it, I think I've done it several different ways. I'm not sure if I've done this exact one, but we got that done. Let me get the rest of my ingredients. Hang on. Okay, so I've got my meat and bean mixture, and I'm just going to sprinkle it. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pour all that meat and bean mixture everywhere. I'm just going to lightly cover it because I don't want to be too much, you know. For me, it was all about the fresh vegetables. I love that. And I'm going to try to make 2 of these, one off camera. Okay. So, let's spread this out just a little bit. It's basically fine. I want to kind of mush it down just a little into the cream cheese mixture. Like that. And then it's just real simple. We'll do tomatoes. You're going to probably do your tomatoes first. I just chopped them up, just a really small dice. Most of them anyway. Fresh tomatoes. Lettuce. And we're not going to go crazy on the lettuce. I try to do it in small pieces too, mostly. And it's just really good, especially for fall. You can also do it for summer. It's just really good. And it kind of actually is a fall thing that can kind of give you the taste of summer. So. And then what you'll do is after you put your cheddar on, which that's what I'm going to do now. And I got, is it extra sharp? Yeah, extra sharp. So good. Can also put some black olives on this if you want to. But after you get your pieces cut and you put them on individual plates and everything for everybody, you can put just a little bit of salsa on it. Just like we did then. That's it. That's the finished product. It's real easy and simple. Just a lot of chopping involved. But once you get that done, piece of cake. Okay, let's look at our next fall recipe. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to make a Chick-fil-A casserole. It's pretty easy, pretty quick. You may have to do a little bit of prep work depending on if you've got food that was already cooked. You will have to cook it separately. And if not, then you just combine everything and you won't have to follow that step. The first thing that I did was I got my 9x13 out. I sprayed it with some cooking spray. I put my cooked waffle fries in here in the bottom, and it was just one 2-pound bag. And I did have to cook those first, just like I typically would. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put, and it's still very hot. We got to make, let me turn that around. My Stouffer's mac and cheese. So I got some of that. You don't have to use this. You can use, I think Bob Evans has one. You can get some from a deli that's already made. I wouldn't advise using the boxed type. So use already prepared or frozen if you're going to do this. Because it's just going to have to go in the oven for like just a few minutes to melt the cheese on top, and then that's it. So it'll be fine. We already cooked it though. I'm going to add that to this. I got the, I believe it was family size tray so that I would have plenty. I'm going to put all this on here. I did separate some out because my husband doesn't like his food to touch. So I had to dish him some out separate. He'll eat everything, but he just don't want it on top of each other. But I seen this recipe and I thought that would be something fun for my viewers to see. Real easy, quick. Perfect for the summer. Okay, and the next thing that we're going to put on this is popcorn chicken, already cooked. You can use chicken nuggets or chicken fingers, but you're gonna have to cut them. And I didn't want to have to do that. So I just got some popcorn chicken. And I just, usually for these recipes, I just get something cheap. But you don't have to do that. You can get whatever brand you prefer. But you are going to need pretty good portion size for this one. I think it was probably roughly 2-pound bag, maybe a little less. And I'm just going to put all these on here. And just layer it on. Real easy and simple. Okay. And the next thing I'm going to do is find a towel to wipe my hands off on. And we're going to put a little bit of cheddar on top. And then we're just going to set it in this hot oven and just let it melt and warm up. But everything's pretty much warmed up anyway. But and you can just put as much cheese as you want on top, and then that's it. I'll see you back here in about 10 minutes. Okay, y'all, finished product. Did perfect. I'm gonna put a little bit of this on it. Well, let me turn it up this way. You don't have to do that, but I'm gonna do it real quick. And just like that, it's ready to go. It's easy, quick, perfect for the fall. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.